I used to think the problem was that I wasn't getting paid enough. But the real problem was I had no clue what I was doing with my money. Like, I'd get paid, and by the end of the week, I'd be back to broke, waiting for my next paycheck. And the worst part was, it wasn't even because I was buying something dumb. It was just things were adding up so fast. Like food, random little things, impulse buys, and before I knew it, I was back to zero. And when you're only 18 or 19 like myself, this doesn't just kill your pockets, it kills your momentum. And it makes it feel like you're working towards nothing virtually. So what did I do? I flipped it. I built a system that I implement every single time I get paid now that actually lets me save, stack for the future, but still live. And it's not some corny, oh, don't go buy Starbucks stuff. It's something actually useful. So, if at all this sounds like you in the situation that you're in, stick around, watch this video because I'm going to show you the exact system I built, how to build it, and how you can implement it into your life to make changes. So for starters, the very first thing I do when I get paid, before I even touch the money, I will sit down in a room, just me, no distractions, a Google spreadsheet, and the mindset that I'm running a business. Because I am. My life is a business. Alright, so here's how I'll break it down. The very first thing I'll do, I'll write down my income. How much money did I actually make? Like after taxes and everything, after all my deductions, how much did I take home? Next, I'll track out my expenses, like actual expenses, not just wants. I'm talking about like rent, phone bills, gas, utilities, all those sort of things. Third, I'm going to write out my goal. What is the goal for the week? How much do I want to spend? How much do I want to save? How much do I want to invest? That sort of stuff. And thirdly, I'm going to do a last week audit. I'm going to go back and I'm going to see where my money actually went last week. How did I spend it? Where did I spend it? How can I cut expenses? That sort of stuff. Now just sit back and ask yourself this. When was the last time you actually audited yourself? When was the last time you categorized your expenses, went back and looked at your previous statement, and saw where your money was going? Because I promise you would be shocked at how much money you're just wasting. So the US Bank actually did a study on this, and the results that it showed was that only 41% of Americans stick to and follow an actual budget. And the other 59%, they're just spending money randomly, guessing, just wondering why they're broke all the time. Step two, the rule that I absolutely stand by that rebuilt my entire flow, the 50-30-20 rule. What that is 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for your future. I'm talking investing, saving, all that good stuff. Now here's the twist though. If I don't spend all 30% of my wants portion, I'll throw the rest in the future me bucket because down the road, nobody's gonna save me if I'm broke. The only one that can change that is me. Alright, let's use a real life example. Let's say me or you, we just got paid $1,000. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take $500 immediately. 50%, we're gonna use that for our needs, like food, gas, bills, all that sort of stuff. Then we're gonna take $300. That'll be for fun, that's your wants. Let's say you're going out with your friends to a movie, something like that. You want to buy some new clothes. That's where the $300 comes into play. The other $200 straight into savings or investing, something like that. Now let's just say you don't spend all $300. You only spend $250 or $200. That either $50 or $100, throw that in the future you bucket. Every time you're doing this, you're buying yourself freedom, and you will thank yourself later on. I promise. Now step 3 to this whole process, make your Google sheet an absolute weapon. I know that budgeting is boring, but it's only boring if you don't understand what it's doing for you. The power of budgeting is insane. So the way that I built my spreadsheet is actually super helpful. I have it track 4 things for me. First, it tracks my paychecks. Second, it tracks my expenses, which I have color coded. Third, it tracks my short and long-term goals. And then fourth, I built a graph that kind of shows how I'm doing in relation to those goals. I'm telling you guys, it's super simple and it takes literally less than 5 minutes. Every time you get paid, just go check and update your little sheet and you will have far more control over your money than you have ever had before. I promise it will help you out tremendously. The National Endowment for Financial Education did a study once, and what it showed was that people who track their money tend to save twice as much as those who don't. And that's not just a guess, that's a real study that was done. That's insane if you think about it. Step 4, the part that really helped me out, is thinking in months rather than thinking in minutes. When somebody's going to buy something, typically what they ask is, can I afford this right now? What they should be asking is, can I afford this right now without setting myself back and having to struggle for the next couple of weeks? Because a lot of people don't take that into account. They'll spend $500 on a pair of shoes, some designer shoes that they don't really need but they want, and then they're living kind of trapped for the next few weeks because they have to make up for that $500 loss. So before you go out and make some big unnecessary purchase, just think, can I hit my goals after buying this? Will I still be able to do the things that I want to do after purchasing this without setting myself back in any way? And if you can't hit your goals, if you will be setting yourself back, And I'm sorry to tell you, it's just not affordable. It's just like the gym. If you walk into the gym, have a great workout once, it's really not going to do much for you. But if you show up to the gym every day, you show up consistently and do it over time, you will notice difference. And it's the same thing with money. You can't just save one paycheck out of the whole year. You need to start saving gradually from every paycheck throughout the year, and you will see the difference over time. So now, every time I'm getting paid, I'm asking myself, how can I make this check stretch into next month's progress rather than just give me peace of mind for the next week? Step 5, pretty simple. If you're going to spend mindlessly, you got to save mindlessly too. Automate the smart stuff. So what do? You set up auto pay to your savings, auto pay to your investments, auto pay to pay off bills. Why? Because willpower is not enough. People will forget. Systems don't forget. So here's my final message to you. Build, don't blow. Every time you get paid, you have a choice. You can either feel rich for 48 hours, or you can build systems that will help you much later down the line. Next time you're on vacation and you want some extra cash to spend on that jet ski ride, you'll have it. Or you could go spend $300 on a pair of sunglasses right now. Ooh. I'm 19. I don't make six figures. I'm not some millionaire that has 12 different passive income streams paying me every second. But I'm building the systems that will help me get to that point later down the road. The only reason I started to do better with my money wasn't because I got lucky. It's because I stopped being passive with my paychecks. So next time you get paid, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, what would the smart me do with this money? If you're just waiting for more money before putting yourself together, you could pick your head up 5 years later and you're going to be in the exact same position you're in today, just older and more stressed out. Let's not let that happen.